Let's move over to Auburn, the other A day that was going on. You know what I really take away? If there is a player that wants to enter the transfer portal, they're going to be one of the most sought after receivers, whether that be Perry Thompson or Malcolm Simmons. Now, I don't think either is going to go, but Cam Coleman is probably your number one. Eric Singleton didn't play. He wasn't involved. Neither was Jackson Arnold. But Perry Thompson and Malcolm Simmons had a very good day. They were winning a lot of their one-on-one battles, and it just feels like this is where Auburn finally should be able to kind of take that next step forward because of whether it's with Deuce Knight, whether it's with Ashton Daniels, whether it's with Jackson Arnold, the weapons that they have there right now. There's an opportunity for this to be the deepest wide receiver room in the SEC. Absolutely, it may not be the best, but the deepest in terms of what talent you have. I mean, Perry Thompson may play less than 30% of snaps this year. Like if he stays there because of just the roles that everyone else has. But still, you put him on like 6 other SEC teams, he's immediately wide receiver 1 or wide receiver 2.
No, I know. I agree with you. I mean, they're by far the deepest of any team in the country heading into the season, by far, on the wide receiver spot, which is wild to say because that's not normally Auburn. But I mean, the Horatio Fields kid I've heard from over there, he's been balling. Sam Turner, a true freshman. Yeah, I mean, they go about 6 deep, and then we always forget, everyone, myself included, Malcolm Simmons, we don't talk enough about, who's kind of sitting there as like a 3rd, 4th guy. And you're like, dude, if their 3rd guy is Horatio Fields or Malcolm Simmons, like, whoo, it's going to be a pretty good unit. So you're fired about them. I'm going to go the defensive line, man. I think they got a lot more depth and length. I should say more so length, good-looking bodies. Like, we're like, yeah, that's an SEC interior body right there.
Sure.
Like Jamison Travis, Dallas Walker, Antonio Coleman, Malik Black, and all those dudes look a lot better. This is going to be the best Auburn, from a personnel standpoint on defense, this is the best personnel they've had since the 2019 defense. And that had, I mean, again, it's not going to be as good as that just since then. I mean, that was Derek Brown, Marlon Davidson, and the boys like that. They held Joe Burrow and them in check as good as anybody. They're not going to be that good, but I think this is from a personnel talent standpoint, especially when you factor in how good the 2 corners are going to be. This could be as good of a defense that they've had since 19. It won't be as good, but I think at least personnel-wise it will. And I like what DJ Durkin does defensively. So I don't know why he couldn't. He has the right ingredients. He could put out another good defensive product. And I thought they were pretty good last year. Offense just didn't help them a lot.
I'm glad you brought up because you mentioned the corners, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kay and Lee had a really good day. If you can have a boundary cornerback that can take away a number 1 wide receiver, you have a shot in every game, in my opinion. Because you look at the NFL model, as much as I don't like comparing the NFL and college football, because that's just such a disgusting way to kind of look at the sport, it is. When you take away the best asset of your team and they do that you trust more than anybody else to go up and get an easy 6 points for you, and Kay and Lee is winning his battles against Cam in coverage, and you're watching some of the plays that they're floating around all throughout the social media sphere, and you're like, oh, look at that. He's locked on it. Man, like, dude is not letting up. That, to me, shows that Auburn defensively is still going to be a very good team. They're going to take another step forward. Kendrick Falk, you have coming off the defensive line. You already mentioned Dallas Walker. I like what they have in the secondary. I think Jay Crawford's going to have another step forward at the other cornerback position. Anquan Fagans, I think, can have a really good year. Caleb Harris can have a really good year. They got some young dudes in there. It's all going to come down to the offense. And let's be real, Dave, it's not even going to come down to the offense. It's going to come down to one player on the offense, and it's quarterback. And here's the big question. Is it going to be Jackson Arnold week 1? Probably, but you didn't see him play. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. They said it wasn't that big of a concern. It was the Deuce Knight showing. Deuce Knight's
Freeze came out and said they're already putting in a package for him week 1 just so he can be a rep. I mean, you've been repping it since spring. I would hope you're down that by that Friday night.
But still, it's like if he ends up hitting, he may end up pushing Jackson Arnold out of the starting job completely. And I think that's foolish to say that right now. But what I will say is they're 100% right to have a package.
I feel like if that happens, it's bad for Auburn.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong in thinking that. If Deuce Knight is starting by midseason, unless Jackson Arnold goes down with an injury or something.
Which could happen easily.
But if he starts over him, Yeah, gosh, Jackson Arnold's about who embarrassing right now. Over under our buddies over at FanDuel, giving them another plug. 7.5 wins for Auburn. Are you going over after the spring?
No, I'm staying under. I think right now. I think I have to.
You're going 7.
I think 7-5 is what they're going to be right now. 8-5. Okay, 8-5 if you include a bowl game and they get a bowl victory. Yeah, but right now I'm still on the fence. I got it.
I'll go 1 win above. See, I think 8-4. You're right. I mean, I think I'm just right above it.
We're literally talking about what is the quarterback play. I think with bad quarterback play, this is a 7-5 team. I think with good quarterback play,
what if I just told you Jackson Arnold was good?
I'd go 8-4. I would take the over at that point. If you tell me I get good Jackson Arnold and I get more of what we saw with like a better passing, but like if you give me a combination of what he did on the ground against Alabama and then what he did in the second half against Ole Miss through the air, that's an 8-win team. That's an 8-win offense.
Should be at this point. Should be. Right. Yeah.
It should be. That's the big takeaway.
I mean, like we're sitting here talking like, man, are we really going to go give again? Me and you have our feelings about Hugh Freeze, but like, am I really going to go be like, attaboy, Hugh, 8-4, year 3? It's like, I mean, yeah, dude, that should be expectation. I mean, year 3.
Here's what I'll say: I will back off a Hugh for an entire year and not say that he is one of these guys that needs to be on the hot seat if he goes 8-4. Like, I'll end all hot seat conversations if he goes 8-4.
Right. For sure. Yeah. He goes 8-4. He's no. I don't even think he's getting fired at 7-5.
Probably not.
6 he will. 6-6 or worse.
Well, worse. He's fired. 6-6. There's that conversation going on.